Hello everyone, I'm Shubha Mishra and you are watching Sharpsy Media, India's leading educational web channel. And today in Masterclass, we will be talking about how to build your resume. And for that, we have with us Ms. Rikita Swaroop. She's a master trainer for MEPSC, National Skills Development Corporation India, trainer for soft skills, business communication, brighter minds, and a career development facilitator. Currently, she's in Amity University, Jharkhand, as an adjunct faculty, responsible for taking sessions on business communication and soft skills. A very welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Pleasure to have you here as my interviewer. And I'm looking forward to have a session where the experiences and inputs that I have gathered over a period of time could be of some use to the viewers who are with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you, and especially in this resume session, because which is like nowadays students are very much not sure about like what they how they should make their resume and what should do and don't. So it will be very, I think it will be very insightful for the students. So, ma'am,
Sure.
my first question to you is that like, why this resume is so important, for like every student or every working professional to have one? Like, why this is so important nowadays?
That's really an interesting question. And I remember my day when I started my career as a fresher. Why the resume?
Yeah,
So now when I am into that other side of the table where I sometimes am an interviewer,
right.
I have some questions for you. Have you for you, Shubham? Let's make it an interaction.
Sure.
Let's say when we look at a person, how do we understand what that person is made up of? What is the depth that that person has? How do you measure that?
Well, I think the personality is a very important part. When you talk with the person, you start getting the way he speaks to you, the way he dressed himself. So it tells a lot about him. So I think this is the first, I think, a big part that we can like learn more about that person, like what he is actually.
Very true.
Right.
Very true. So when a person is in front of us, we have our own parameters through which we understand a person, make our opinion. But when that person is not there,
Right.
what is it that will be representing us, especially if we are applying for a job? Obviously, that piece of paper, that document.
Right.
How and what do we project in the document actually defines and describes us, in front of whom? Obviously the person who is wanting to know a little more about us. um, I will take another example here, that let's say there is a coach, or why should I say there is a coach? Any sport which is your favorite sport?
Well, I love football.
Wonderful. Have you ever been a captain of a team?
Yeah, I was when I was in my 10th or my 12th district level tournament. So I was a captain of my team.
Wonderful. So, as a captain, obviously, your responsibility must have been in selecting a good team,
Right.
because obviously, the goal of any team is to win, to give their best. So,
Right.
in that search, how were you looking at the selection of your teammates? What were you looking for?
Well, actually, in football, I was looking for some like definite skills. My
Hmm.
part, the team members. Like there is a defender, there is a striker. So I look some skills that how fit he is first of all. Can he, play
I
for that?
can't hear you. Did my network go?
Am I audible?
Can't hear you. Probably. Though I could hear you till you mentioned about striker and defender.
Right. So there are definite different skills that a striker need to have or a defender need to have. So I have to take some trainings, some like we let them play and then I go and check the skills they have. And according to that, I put them in my team.
Wonderful.
Right.
So let's now take it from the perspective of an interviewer. If I am an interviewer, I know what skills I'm looking for. If I see that in that paper, I know this is the person whom I am looking for. So all these things becomes clear to a person who is wanting to select a team member for his team, or an employee for an organization, can only happen if I have something to select from. And from where will I get that something? From that piece of paper, which we say represents us as a document. So that is why the resume, because you don't have time to go and knock at every institution. Neither the institution has time to go and look for the probable students in every college. Nobody has got that time. So there has to be somewhere a connection where at least both the parties know that we exist. The employer knows that yes, I have pool of these people to select from, and those people who are wanting to have job, they know that these are the probable employers who would be hiring me.
Okay.
And the link I will say is the resume.
That's wonderful, ma'am. So I want to ask, like if I'm making a resume, so what are the sections that I should include that makes me, let the recruiter or the HR select me? Like, what are the sections does it, a resume should include?
Okay. um, Again, I will take back the audience to the example that we were just discussing, that you mentioned that for a striker you needed to have certain qualities, for a defender you needed to have certain qualities, right? So similarly, there are multiple people who are applying with their own skill sets. You may be good in ABCD skill sets. Your friend could be very good in XYZ as a skill set. I, as an employer, I may need either a combination of A, B, C, and XYZ, or it could be another set of my requirements, right? So, uh, a student who is applying for should first be clear what is it that he is wanting to do in his job. If his or her why is clear, then he should make or she should make a master copy of the strengths, the skills that they have. Once that is done, and now look for the kind of jobs that you are wanting to do, so that the advertisement is telling you that this is what we need people to apply for. So if that ad comes, which is also asking for ABC, and I also have ABC, that is the place where I should apply. And then I'm going to enhance and put all these in such a way so that anybody who is going through my resume has got that eye for those ABC as quick as possible. Time is always going to be a constraint for anybody, whether it's an employer or the employee. The people who are applying, everybody is pressed for time. So to make each other's life easy, we say be very concise, be very clear, and put yourself in such a structured manner that if I am having just a few seconds to look at a piece of paper, my eye should stop at your resume, that yes, this is what I am looking for. And now the next step of every resume is to get that call for the interview.
So
So
I think, ma'am,
yes.
you are saying that if I'm applying for a job, let's think about Google. Okay, so there are certain skills they want in their like in their trainees and the person they are hiring. So a person who is making his resume, I think he should think about the organization he's applying to. I think so. You are trying to say that,
Mhm.
and according to
Correct.
that, he should strategize their skills, that what the skills they needed, for this job. And I think it will be
Mhm.
different for the job they are applying for a different organization. That I'm
Absolutely,
okay.
absolutely.
Cool.
Let's say you are applying for the position of um, a writer. So your writing skills, your creativity, your imagination, the way you organize things is something which should be your passion. And obviously, when you will be looking for the advertisements, you will be looking for those skills which are there in you. They should be aligning with each other. And the moment you see that alignment, you apply for that job. And the employer, when they look at your resume, they know that, yes, I am interested in this person. Now, that interest factor lies in your organization and structuring of your resume. uh, how are you making it reader friendly is what every person who is applying for a job should aim for.
Okay, ma'am. So I think we asked a lot of questions in our Instagram page, and there lots of question came. They asked us like, why this is objective? We always need to put an objective in our resume. So can it be the
Mhm.
same for every organization, or should it, we can make some changes according to the job we are applying for? can or
All
someone
right.
can a student can avoid that particular section because he's not sure about it, because many of our a college students, they are not sure about it. They'll be like, okay, I'm getting a job in any organization, I'll be happiest person. If I'm getting internship in any organization, it's okay, it's fine. So can the objective be avoided, or if not, then what should be the the ideal objective a person should have in his or her resume?
Shubham, you are asking really wonderful questions. I envy you for having this clarity at such a young age. Had I been in your age and I would have that clarity, probably I will also have been, be at the right place at the right times almost every time I applied for the job. All right. I will take an analogy again here.
Okay.
Let's say there is a ship that or a cruise that decides to go on a cruise to a particular destination. So when this cruise is trying to go to a particular destination, and if they do not have a compass, they do not have their course of action charted, can that ship or that cruise ever reach the destination?
No.
Right? So all the jobs are different destinations that we have to go for. Every company has got their own set of vision, mission, objectives that they are trying to strive. To strive that, they need obviously a team of people who can and who have those kind of objectives very clear in their minds, through which they can align with their mission, vision, and the purpose and existence of that organization. So a lot of self exploration is what students have to do. They should analyze what clicks with them. Let's say a person your age is really a person who is very particular as far as the sleeping time is concerned. Let's say बहुत ही ज़्यादा organized है वो.
Yeah.
So this person would sleep on time, get up on time, and if the organization where he is applying for is really strict about the timing, he will always be a success story as far as reaching on time is concerned, because his biological clock is adjusted, his lifestyle adjusted, he will be there always on time. Now let's say there's another student who is very passionate about the work that he is doing,
I think there is some technical glitch.
all right, just give me a second. Am
Yes,
I
ma'am.
audible
Yeah,
now?
yeah. Now you are.
Okay, I'm so sorry. It's
Hi.
the weather is a little cloudy today, so
Yeah,
I'm
it is actually.
option.
It's a,
So um, when we are talking about that, the alignment of an institution has to be aligned with me, then only I will be of some use to that particular institution. So the cruise reaching that destination or me getting into an organization, they both are not very different. And that is why if I am clear of my objective, I will be there in that institution. The example that I was sharing here, the second person who has difficulty getting up on time and be on time may not survive here, even though the job is of interest, because the lifestyle and his inability to reach at the office on time daily is a big question mark, is a big struggle from him. This person may be very successful in institutions which gives you flexi hours, which gives you the benefit of working from home, where the deadlines are set when you meet, they are not concerned. So until and unless we do not know our own self, and this career objective gives every student an opportunity to dig little deeper what clicks with them. So it's just not that job that we should be aiming at. It should be, am I able to do justice with this amount of investment which a training company is going to do on me, where they would be training, they would be then eventually assigning roles to me. If I'm not justifying that because I myself am not clear about my own strengths, my areas of improvement, how can I be of any assistance to anyone?
right.
That's one part of the question. The second part is that yes, every company's own objective and purpose of existence is different. So I will have to look at their websites, I will have to look at the details what they are wanting to have, I will have to look at the advertisements that they are giving, and then look at my own self and bring out those strengths in front which I should be able to project, and I should be able to align with that institution. So
Ma'am,
it's always.
right.
Mhm.
Right, ma'am.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ma'am, as I said that you are a teacher also, so you teach a lot of students. So generally,
Mhm.
you find a lots of resume, of course. So what do you think that a lots of mistake that usually the students do in their resume?
Most of the time, they pick up the cut paste. The
Right.
another favorite is my friend has made that. I will be making this.
Well,
Uh, the,
I was also the same student, in my earlier years, like in my college years, my first year, I think. I don't know a lot about information because it was a very new term for me, like resume. I don't know what to
Mhm,
do. So I just
mhm.
called my senior and he just said, okay, this is a resume. I was like, okay, fine. I just have to just rename the name. I just have to change the qualification that I have. It's very simple that you have to put the certificate name and that's all. So at that
Mhm.
time, it was kind of same. You were saying that, okay, ma'am, continue now.
Okay. You also brought in a very good point that why our resumes cannot be cut paste.
Right.
From what I understood from your talk, where you said that you really had passion for sports. So there could be few students who are really good in sports and co-curricular and extracurricular activities. For them, the academics may not be at that level where the sports life had been. There could be another person whose academics had been really superb, but had not been very prominent in his or her career, in his or her co-curricular activities. There could be a third group of student where both were really hand in hand and this student was an all-rounder. So since every student is going to be a unique set of talents, will have their own journey of life, that's why the cut paste and the templates may not be an answer where I will be able to project myself in the best possible light, so that the uh, employer knows whom he or she is hiring and I know where am I getting hired. Right, so that clarity can only come if I explore myself, I take out little time before putting myself on that document which is called as resume. So you do a lot of research, you look into different kinds of examples and then come up with your unique resume, with which is structured, which has got the right flow, right information, and it's a short, crisp, because it's only representing you in front of the people who are wanting to hire you. Rest you can talk and tell people when you will be invited for the interview. So our aim when we are writing resume is only, am I becoming acceptable, am I able to create an impression on the interviewer where the interviewer is now looking to have a word with me, and I have won that interview call. That is what should be the objective of every resume.
Uh, you said right. I just want to ask very personal question. Usually, I have a very lot of confusion regarding that. That in resume we used to paste our picture, like we used to add our picture. There's a section for picture, but I heard somewhere, in this lockdown, I attended many workshops regarding resume and personality development, all that. So I get to know that you can't put your picture in your resume unless they want them. Like if you're in a in a media like organization, you're applying for a media organization, you can use your photograph, but you don't have to be if you're applying for some like a computer job or some other field. Is it right?
uh, you have partially given the answer yourself to this question, that when the skills are more of a requirement, like the IT jobs or the backend jobs, they are not interested in how you are looking, right? However, when you are representing yourself where your physical self will be of importance, then putting it there is something which is going to be helpful for the organization to see who you are. And yes, the last thing that we should keep in mind is, if they are specifically asking for the photograph, let it be there, otherwise just leave it, because anyway they are going to look at you when they will be calling you for the resume, until unless it's organizations like airlines or the hotel industry, where the personality and the face plays an important role. Yes, there it should be done, again subject to if they have specifically asked for the photographs.
Okay, and now I think this is time to take some questions. We ask these
Mhm.
questions, and
Sure.
so the first question is asked by Rahul. He said that I'm a fresher, but I have a long, I don't have a lot of experience, right?
Mhm.
So he thinks that he have a lot of voluntary activities. He did a lots of certifications courses, but he don't have a lots of experience. So how, how can he make his resume better so that he can be selected for a job or for an internship?
Lovely question. A fresher always feels that since he or she doesn't have an experience, they may not be able to, have their prominence in front of the employer. I will quickly share one example of my life when I was also in the initial phases of my career, and I had an interview with a very, very prominent institution. And we were called there for an interview. Around 40 people were there who were really, really experienced, and I was only having 2 years of experience at that time. And I was like, why on earth would the institution be even interested in calling me for the interview? But since I had received the interview call, I was there in that hotel where the interview was going on, and I was the last person to be interviewed. All other interviews were going on for half an hour, and mine was only 10 minutes. And what they asked was that, yes, you do not have any experience, why should we hire you? So my only answer was that I have never stopped learning from my juniors and from my seniors. I really have a desire to learn and grow and develop. And I know even though if I will carry 40 years of experience, learning is something which will always continue till I'm alive. So, with that mindset, I can promise that whatever role will be assigned to me, if I am found worthy, I will live up to that expectation which the institution will have. And the resume had what you just mentioned, Rahul, all the great work that you are doing, even though you are a student who is hardly probably in the age bracket of 19 to 21, 22. You are saying that you have done a lot of volunteering work. So that speaks a volume about you as a person. You have done a lot of co-curricular activities. That also speaks about you as a person. Educational qualification has its own importance, but these other aspects of a personality is very, very strong, which should be reflected in your resume. So that is going to become the strength as far as your resume building is concerned. Yes, only the structuring and placing of this information should be such that it takes prominence in your resume and it is highlighted.
I think
And
this
I'm
is
sure
right.
an employer would be looking at you, because ultimately at the job place, it's not about how you are as a scorer or as a topper or second topper of your class. It's more of how you are as a person.
Right.
Right? Am I audible,
Yes, ma'am, you are
Shubham?
audible. Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
you are.
Okay.
So, ma'am, as you said that, I just there's a lots of confusion, regarding that. So, I think this is a perfect answer for those students who have a lots of confusion that I don't have a lot of experience, but I did some curricular activities. I'm more into sports. So, I think this is a very perfect answer for those
Oh,
students,
yes.
right? So, we have another
And I
question.
would also,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry to interrupt, and I will also tell all these people who are doing this great job of volunteering and as sports, as sports, don't ever leave that. I left it when I was in 10th standard because that bug was in me that Padhai should be everything, and I really
Right.
regret my decision of stopping the sports in which I was good at. So continue with
I
that.
think companies are also looking for not just a human. They don't want a computer or a robot. They want a person who can work, who can fit in any environment of a company, the culture. I think this is that what company is looking for. So we have another question
Absolutely.
from Priya. She said that I haven't scored good marks in my 12th and my 10th, but she's scoring good marks in his college. And she's very confused that can she just put her grades of college in her resume, or she, does she have to also, if she's putting a college grade, does she have to also put the 12th or 10th grades because it looks bad in her resume? So
Okay. Again, a very interesting question. Um, what has happened, you cannot do anything about it. Hiding it or displaying it again is a choice that you will have to make. Reason being that sooner or later, when the gray areas are there, nothing to worry about. Uh, Mentioning it honestly, the reasons, and also the fact that yes, I am doing good and I am improving as are visible in the mark list of my graduation should be fair enough. And then let it be the discretion of the company whether they would like to hire you or not.
So, ma'am, it's a question again that if there is a person, there is a student who have a lots of experience, of course, and he have a lots of voluntary activities and certifications as well. So, and also he's a student only, he's in bachelor's. So can he have his CV, or does he have to have his resume only? Like,
He should have a resume
okay.
because as a fresher, you do not have too much of experience. Let it be one page, at the most 2 pages, because rest everything you are going to talk in your interview. So the purpose of resume is only your selection, because an interviewer will not have time to go through lengthy resumes, because they know anyways, howsoever impressive your resume is, ultimately they have to look at you as a person. And obviously they'll be spending more time when they will be face to face with you in an interview. So let all that details be discussed in your session, and don't be bothered about whether my resume is lengthy or not. Be
Um,
focused on the main points which are important for them to choose a resume
Ma'am,
for further interview.
few weeks back, I read an article, and it was that now the HR don't have to go through the everyone's resume. They have a software that easily pick out the name, pick out the pages, the resumes, of course, and it depends on the AI. That is the action words they use in their resume. So then I get to know that, okay, this is very important to have some action words that that tells that what company is actually looking for. You know.
Shubham, may I come back from the laptop? It's there with me. Can we do that, or would you like me to continue?
Ma'am, we can continue because it's the end now. We have hardly 5 minutes now, so we can go with the
All
phone.
right.
Okay, ma'am.
Fair enough. So the question that you have asked is again pertinent. It's important that what do I do when I have this kind of a situation? Yes, there are two ways in which a resume is actually rejected. Multiple rejections happen, and finally, whatever is remaining are the ones where little more time is spent to select the people who are the right choice for the institution. The keywords, like you mentioned, yes, that is what this system generated check is happening, and we should be aware that what will be those keywords. Now if I ask you a question, that if you have to hire few people, what are the keywords that you would definitely be looking for if they work for you?
I think I'll be looking for the leading that they led the team, a group of team, and they created something, they organized something. So these are the some keywords that I definitely look for, for my training or for my employer.
Very true. So, as an employer, I know what I'm looking for, but universally, there are certain things which will be always aimed at by the employers. That would be, are you somebody who has good interpersonal skills? Because ultimately, every organization has to work within their own group of people with good coordination as a team. How are your time management skills? Then if you have leadership skills, excellent. Sooner or later, when you will be promoted as manager or as a department head or as a team lead, these are the qualities that would be always looked for. Then are you creative? Are you innovative? Because every time there will be certain situations which would need some creative thinking to happen. And over and above all these things, how are your decision making skills, your problem solving skills? These are a few that will be something which will be required by every organization, because they are the part and parcel of our lives. Besides this, some specific qualities which are related to your field for which you are applying should definitely be mentioned. If you are applying for being a writer or an editor, somebody from the media, obviously your exploration skills, your creativity, your imagination will be something which will be always appreciated. So specific to your role, specific to a company, and the job vacancy that you are applying for, you should be clear that what qualities will be appreciated. And advertisements a lot of time do tell them that yes, these are our requirements, and then you look within that, out of these 5 mentioned skills, which ones are there in you, let them be your top skills mentioned in your resume.
So, ma'am, you talked about the skills. So I want to ask this will be our last question. So what is the difference between a strength and a skills?
All right. Strengths are more as far as your personality is concerned, more innate, intuitive aspects of your personality, where compassion would come, where your honesty would come, the values and principles through which you are driving yourself, they would be more innate in nature. Skills maybe skills which we have learned over a period of time. Could be like computing skills, language proficiency, cross-cultural sensitivity. These are few things that can be learned over time, along with your computer skills. So understanding of both will be more crucial for you to project it correctly, especially your personality.
Is it?
And that's how
Right.
a power-packed resume could be made, where in every true sense, you are able to project who you are and rest after the interview.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful session. I think the people who are
Thank you.
watching us right now, they might be, this session will be really useful for them. And I want to tell them, if there is any question you want ma'am to ask, to answer, you can comment in our comment section so we can take those questions in our next interviews or next sessions. Thank you so much for ma'am for this kind interview. I'm really thankful to you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Hope all the students get the dream jobs that they are looking for. But again, the journey begins within. Give time to yourself, explore yourself. And being a trainer for heartfulness meditation, I always encourage my students that once you have started your new journey towards adulthood, let it be in the right direction. Let it be about you. Let it be about your inner self. And that gets revealed when you start meditating. So all the best to all of you. Good wishes. And I hope I could answer to the queries, which is going to help you build your resumes, the best possible resume. Thank you very much. Have a great day, all of you.
Thank you so much.